This is the greater 3UZ in Melbourne, relaying to 3TR Gippsland and Radio RAAF Malaya. The time, 9:30. NewsBeat, presented by
Castrol, the masterpiece in oils.
Old oil clogged with dirt causes engine wear and costly damage. Change oil regularly. Use fresh, clean Castrol. Castrol keeps your engine in good shape and reduces repair bills. Your car maker recommends Castrol, and he should know what's best. Always ask for the properly balanced super-grade oil, fresh, clean Castrol.
When your car needs lubrication, ask for Castrol by name. Give your car exhilaration, ask for Castrol by name. It's the fresh, clean oil that gives long life to engines. Castrol, the masterpiece in oils.
And now here is John Ford on the NewsBeat.
Good morning. A frantic night on the NewsBeat with reports on accidents, fatalities, a near riot at Festival Hall, brawls, and a serious assault. The night starts with the return to town of 3UZ newsmen after their sensational smash off Dramana in a light plane on shark-spotting duty.
Back in the city, we have Neil Thompson, who has just arrived from Rosebud, I think, Neil.
That was right, John. Yes, Rosebud.
Well, now, we've heard your version of this earlier in 3UZ news broadcasts today. I wonder, in talking to you now, if we can find out just a little more of what happened. Firstly, what were you doing at the time that the accident occurred?
We sighted up this shark, John, a pretty big one, about a 14-footer just near Dramana, and we started circling. This was our normal procedure, of course. Small craft had come in to help us chase the shark out to deeper water, and I was watching this shark pretty intently as we were circling, of course. Well, all of a sudden, I don't know quite when I became aware of this, but I was aware of a sudden loss in height, and it seemed very sudden, too. And then I saw the water rushing up at us. And the pilot, by this time, who was fighting really hard to control his aircraft, had almost pulled it out and had it almost in an attitude of landing. And I thought, well, we're going to make it. In those last couple of seconds, I knew we weren't. None of us had said a word. There wasn't a sound in the cabin of the aircraft from any one of us. Then suddenly we hit.
So it stalled, then belly down.
It did just this. It did just this.
If you had gone in nose first, you'd have been in a lot more trouble.
Had we gone in nose first, I doubt very much whether any one of us would have survived this. And I think because of the attitude of the aircraft and because of our seat belts, I'd like to emphasize this one. All of us have lived through this one. We've all got rather tender tummies, but frankly, we are quite content to settle for that.
Did she attempt to sink straight away, or did it seem to float on its wings for a while?
It stayed perhaps on its wings, but the entire cabin, unfortunately, was underwater, and it filled almost immediately.
So the doors, then, which I heard you say in an earlier broadcast jammed, must have been very hard to open.
They were. One was jammed completely. We couldn't budge it at all. I got both feet against my door on my side, the left-hand side, and that was the only way that I could kick this door free, by sheer force of 2 feet.
And then I think I heard you say that Richard Earle, one of our newsreaders at 3UZ who was with you at the time, was trapped in and you had to pull him out.
I tried to grab Dick and drag him with me, but lost the grip. But somehow, when I came up for air, so did he. I don't know how he came out through a hole through the front of the aircraft, as far as I can see, John.
And what about the pilot and his friend, who I understand is a reverend gentleman?
The pilot surfaced almost at the same time. I was on the wing of the aircraft trying to reach for the others, and I said, "Where's the other chap?" And I threw my shoes into a boat intending to dive in. By the time I did, the pilot, who was already injured, had gone back underwater and had pulled the man from the cabin and had surfaced with him.
And he was fairly seriously injured, this passenger?
He was quite seriously injured, John, with quite a deep head wound.
And then you all went into the Rosebud Hospital straight away?
Well, 2 launches came to help us. One launch took the 2 most injured, the pilot and this reverend gentleman, off to the Rosebud Division of the Peninsula Hospital. And Richard Earle of 3UZ and myself, we came in near the Dramana Pier and went to the police straight away.
At Prince Henry's Hospital, a Peninsula ambulance has just pulled in here with police escort, and I have the driver with me. Driver, I believe you brought up the pilot and the passenger, or one of the passengers from the Cessna aircraft which crashed today at Dramana.
That is correct, yes.
Where did you pick them up?
We took over from Frankston. We met the escort at the bridge, the Mile Bridge.
And then they were changed into your ambulance, or did you change drivers?
We didn't change at all. We continued with the patient.
Straight through here to Prince Henry's?
Straight through Prince Henry's.
I noticed you had a police escort, and coming down St Kilda Road ahead of me, you weren't wasting any time. There was some degree of urgency, I gather.
Yes, it is urgent, but our speed was a moderate one.
The condition of the patients when you brought them in?
Very good, I think.
One was a spine, wasn't it?
One was a spine, and the other was head injuries.
So now they're safely installed at Prince Henry's Hospital?
Yes, they're in good hands.
Thank you very much, driver. And the senior in charge of the police escort, how far did you come with them, senior?
Oh, I picked them up at the Mount Eliza and brought them right through the Prince Henry hospitals.
Yes, your siren was going at a good bat down St Kilda Road.
Yes.
Did you have much trouble with traffic?
No, it was absolutely perfect. The average motorist is to be complimented. He assisted us greatly all the way through. Coming up the highway from Frankston, they're just like a ship. They just opened up all the way for us.
I'm very pleased to hear it. We did broadcast it over 3UZ in the hope that people listening in their cars would open up for you.
Yes, well, there was no high-speed escort. It was just a nice, steady escort in relation to the persons injured. The injuries warranted a steady speed, and honestly, well, we can't say enough for the motorists at the moment. They're very good.
Also in the aircraft was 3UZ's Richard Earle. Richard, did you see this accident coming?
Oh, for a very few seconds, John. It was only a flash sort of thing. It's still very, very foggy in my memory. I can see the water coming up, and that was it. A tremendous noise and water all over the place inside the aircraft. And
Neil tells me you had some difficulty getting out.
I had a little bit of difficulty. The back seat of that particular Cessna is not readily acceptable or accessible to the door. And with all the water and sand and seaweed inside the plane, it was very difficult to find a door or any opening at all. But luckily, just by feeling around, with your eyes half open, you can find something if you're in a hurry.
I think most of 3UZ's listeners know that you're a Canadian, Richard, and you are also a licensed pilot in Canada, aren't you, but not in Australia?
That's true. I have a pilot's license in Canada, but it isn't validated here yet.
And this, I imagine, would be one of your worst flying experiences.
This has not been my best flight, I'll tell you that.
But you'll fly again for 3UZ Community Services, no doubt?
Sure, I'll do it tomorrow.
The pilot of the plane is Dennis Berry, aged 22, now in a satisfactory condition in Prince Henry's Hospital with back and head injuries. Pastor Richard Duckett, 47, of Carlton, is now reported in a critical condition with head and internal injuries. Thompson was uninjured, and Earle was allowed to go home after treatment for lacerations and bruises. In the city, the NewsBeat round kicks off with a familiar incident in a familiar place.
Outside the Royal Hotel, Gertrude Street, Fitzroy, an ambulance has been sent for here, and a man apparently quite badly injured, sitting down on a step here, blood pouring from him. Police already on the scene here, too. There's been a brawl constable here, hasn't there?
That's right.
Yeah. Fairly traditional corner, I think, isn't it, this one? Most Saturdays?
Yeah.
Anybody else injured, or just the one fellow?
Just the one way. Hit on it. Head with a chair, you know.
With a chair, was he? 3UZ St John ambulance man having a look at him at the moment. How is he, Graham?
Not too bad, John, but he's got a rather nasty laceration there.
He's quite a bad one on the head.
Trying to arrest the bleeding.
Civil ambulance will go back to St Vincent's Hospital. He's not too bad, I don't think, driver, is he?
Not too bad, John. No, he's just got
Quite a nasty scalp, though.
gash to the head, that's all.
Well, a chair can do a lot of damage.
Also.
Somebody had a fight.
Yeah, apparently there was a fight in the hotel there.
Over some woman or something.
Over a woman, was it? Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I was down the building, down the next hotel.
Were you?
But I heard about it.
Yeah.
Is it good? But, I think, I don't know, I wouldn't have a clue, but somebody had a fight over one woman. And somebody...
Well, he got a nasty hit on the head out of it anyway.
Oh, did he?
Oh, my word,
What with?
yes. With a chair, I believe.
What? Oh.
Yeah, they've taken him off to hospital now. Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't see it, did you?
He's got a tape recording going, remember?
Oh, no. Not really.
Well, we're just trying to find out what happened here, that was all. I thought you might have known.
Oh, Jesus. Was you badly hurt?
Not too badly, dear, I don't think, no. Not too badly. You didn't see it, did you?
No, I didn't see it. I just missed it. I'd like to see it anyway.
You'd like to see it?
I think,
Oh, for sure.
The accident run starts off with a lucky escape for a family.
Queens Road and Lawn Street, almost onto Albert Park Lake, and there's a car here. Looks as if it's probably rolled over. It's a Mini Minor, very badly damaged in the side, and quite a crowd of people around.
I was here fly with my children, and I heard the big push, and just to see and the car make one
turnover.
One turnover. And everybody was inside. Two young boys, just small children.
Really? And they're all right?
Yeah, everyone all right.
Really?
Two and one woman has a baby.
Did you rush over and try and help them out?
Yeah, many people come here and take off the people and they're inside the big halls.
They went in an ambulance.
The ambulance is here now.
I see.
Yeah. here.
Yet nobody's badly hurt.
Nobody, only the driver here, just here and small.
Cut on the hand.
Yeah. What very lucky. Very lucky.
These two men with the present.
Oh, were they in the car?
Yes.
In this little one?
Yes. He's
carrying a load of Christmas presents.
No, that's the driver.
Excuse me, I see you with your load of Christmas presents. I hear you were in that mini miner.
No, not me, friend. They're over in the motel.
Are they all right?
Yes, the lady is. She's pregnant, but she's all right.
Oh, that's
she's
good.
She's a bit shaken up, you know.
And a couple of kiddies too, I hear.
Yeah, there's 2 kiddies and the lady, but she's quite all right. They were very lucky.
What
really.
hit them?
Oh, a fella came belting out of that crossroad there and...
Oh, nearly another.
And nearly another one, and give them the business, and poor devils were going out to this Christmas thing, you know.
To a Christmas party?
Terrible, that's...
Oh, it's a
shocking,
shame,
you
isn't
know.
it?
It is. No, that's terrible. Why these people don't slow down or something, I don't know.
I know. But still, the main thing is nobody's seriously hurt.
No, see, they're a bit shaken up, but they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty lucky.
And you're looking after all the Christmas presents?
Oh, we're just putting them back in for them.
Are you? That's very nice of you.
But it's Christmas, and I hope everyone slows down a bit.
And this car came out at the side street, I gather?
He came out, I don't know the street. The Morris Minor was right across the intersection. It hit him in the middle of the Morris Minor at the front of the Holden and rolled it.
Oh, dear.
From my point of view, I thought, first of all, I thought Holden was just edging up to the stop, you know, to let him go through, but he didn't seem to stop and he hit him, and it's unavoidable. I just on the other side of the intersection.
Nobody hurt in the Holden?
No, it was just a touch.
You were the driver of the Holden, sir, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
You didn't see them coming across or something?
Oh, I did not.
They were just there before you realised it.
I don't want to say nothing about it.
You don't want to?
No, thank you.
You're not hurt, though, are you?
No.
Any passengers with you?
Yes.
Not hurt?
No.
Well, that's a jolly good thing. And the other people are all right, too, I hear.
I hope.
Bad luck at
John
Christmas
Ford,
time.
yes.
Well, you know you're on NewsBeat, then.
Oh, I do. Oh, no, nothing about it.
M&S Towing have hooked up the Holden. It's not too bad. Repairable, isn't it?
Yes, John, that's quite repairable.
Quite a new one, too.
Yes, it's one of the latest ones. The Morris will be a write-off.
Yes, bad luck for the people, wasn't it?
Seen its last days. Apparently they've been going out to deliver their Christmas presents, and his wife is pregnant too, John.
Well, it's Christmas without good cheer for those poor people.
Yes, it is, John. Very bad luck indeed.
At West Melbourne, the police are called in force to control a crowd which a year ago wouldn't have walked across the road to see the grunt and groaners wrestle.
Standing out the road, now you can't get in unless you have tickets. Now clear the roadway, thank you. Right off the road. Clear the roadway, thank you. Now keep right off the roadway. There are no tickets left, so keep right off the roadway.
And that voice you can hear is from a police courtesy car right outside the stadium, where apparently it's been on for young and old here, with 1,000 people and more congregated around the doors trying to get in. What's been going on here, Sonny?
Oh, there's no seats left, and everybody's just been keeping at the window all the time.
What, have they been fighting?
Oh, I think there was a brawl down there before.
Was there?
Yes.
But I think the police are getting rid of everybody now, so there won't be any more trouble. Was there much of a fight?
Oh, I don't think so, but I saw about a few people getting put in the police car down there.
It is no good waiting around outside. There are no seats available. There are definitely no seats available for the wrestling tonight.
And that's the speaker right outside the stadium now. You can hear it still in the background. And police moving people off the roadway too. Having a problem, Senior, tonight?
Just a few.
Anybody arrested from all this?
There's 3 been arrested.
Was there much of a fight on?
No fight, just idiots that climbed up on top of women and children.
Trying to push their way in?
Climb over the top of them.
Good heavens.
Come on your way home, please. Come on. No more left.
Well, the crowd is starting to clear a bit now, with quite a lot of police assistance here too. I'd say there'd be at least a dozen police on the scene here, and a good solid guard on the gate too, to see no one gets in. You've had your problems on the gate.
We definitely have.
Were they trying to force the gate against you?
We're trying to push everywhere.
Were they?
Everywhere.
Well, the
I would say that there would be many outside is what there would be inside.
Were there? Well, the stadium ushers are renowned for being pretty healthy characters. Was it too much for you to hold your own tonight?
Oh, no. Never.
You can manage.
Excuse me, listen, there's 2 people out here that booked from Geelong through the Melbourne Sports Depot. Now, they've booked on the stage.
Thank you.
How do they go back getting their ticket?
Somebody's got a ticket. You got yours, all right?
Yeah.
Wrong door.
Inside the stadium, the front and Broners are really at it. And oh, there he went. Oh, right into the rope post. And it looks like a ball coming up too, I would think. Do you have your problems getting in tonight? No. Who are they?
Louis.
Are they Greek?
No, Italian.
Both of them?
Huh?
Both of them?
Yeah, no. Oh, I don't know what about another one.
You don't care as long as it's a good fight.
Okay, Louis is an Italian, it's all right.
Here's Jack Little, quite a night, Jack.
Well, this is the most sensational thing that has ever happened in the 12 years that I have been in Australia, John, because Jim Barnett has brought a new era of wrestling to Australia, and this sensational crowd that you've seen outside, this is only the beginning, because the greatest wrestling I have ever seen in 33 years connected with the wrestling game.
So it's on again like it used to be in the 30s?
Yes, even better than ever before, and John, as all the wrestling fans know, for the first time in the history of Australia, a world's title changed hands here in Melbourne when Dominic DeNucci defeated Walter Killer Kowalski, and DeNucci is the most popular champion and popular wrestler ever to come to Australia.
Well, I've never seen the stadium anything like this, have you?
It's unbelievable, John.
Do you come to the wrestling often?
Quite often, yes, John.
Best you've ever seen it?
Fantastic, my word.
While the crowds at the wrestling yell for blood, our roads are providing plenty of it.
At the Alfred Hospital, a civil ambulance has just pulled in here, and I believe, driver, you've attended the scene of what has now proved to be a fatal accident in Brighton, isn't it?
That's correct.
What part of Brighton?
I think they call it the Esplanade.
And was it pedestrian?
Pedestrian hit by a car, yeah.
When you arrived there, was the man, in your opinion, dead instantly?
Well, not in my opinion, he wasn't. No, he died on the way into the Alfred.
And death has now been certified here at the Alfred Hospital?
Yes.
Was he an elderly fellow?
I reckon about 60.
And on his own at the time, walking across the road?
So, yes.
Here is the police report. A motor car with a New South Wales registration, driven by a 29-year-old man from Moorabbin, struck a pedestrian, Charles Battersley, 79 years, of 144 the Esplanade, Brighton. Battersley was dead on arrival at the Alfred Hospital. Life pronounced extinct by Dr. Williamson. Relatives were present. The superintendent and the coroner have been notified. The driver of the car was arrested and charged with driving under the influence and dangerous driving.
Just a few moments later at the Alfred Hospital, and now a Peninsula Dandenong ambulance has pulled in here. And what have you come from, driver?
From Dandenong, Hammond Road.
Where there has been another fatality?
I do believe so.
When you arrived there, what was the scene that greeted you?
First thing I saw was a Holden up against the lamppost. That's all I really took much notice of. I didn't see the other car or anything.
Oh, there were two cars involved.
I should imagine. I didn't see it.
There was two cars involved. There was one girl appeared to be dead up against a barbed wire fence, and body strewn all over the road when we arrived.
How many have you brought into the hospital?
We brought three and...
Four. 3 stretchers and one sitter.
And one sitter, yes.
So there were 5 people really involved in the accident then, and only the one fatality.
No, there could be 2, I think.
Oh, so somebody's fairly critical amongst those you brought in then?
Yes, we believe so. The doctor says that one is not too good.
All fairly young people?
Yes, all teenagers, what they do.
All teenagers.
Thank you very much, drivers.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Here is the police report. A motor car driven by Robin Crick, about 19, of 5 Oban Court, Frankston South, driving in Hammond Road, Dandenong, was struck by a car driven by Brian Ilbery of 2 Magnolia Street, Doveton. Killed Lynette Kane, 19 years, of 95 Hammond Road, Dandenong. June Towan, 22 years, of Albert Street, Dandenong. And injured Crick to the Alfred Hospital with head injuries. Ilbery to the Alfred with head and internal injuries. Rosemary Smith, 49 Turata Drive, Doveton, head and leg injuries to the Alfred Hospital. Kane was killed instantly and conveyed to the Dandenong mortuary. Towan was dead on arrival at the Alfred Hospital, the body conveyed to the city mortuary.
Relatives have been notified.
The most vicious and cowardly assault for a long time is made soon after.
Outside 147 Edward Street in Brunswick, a woman lying on the footpath here, police in attendance. The result of an accident or what?
No, not just drop down.
She just fell down?
Yeah, I don't know, she fell down, maybe somebody else. We don't know.
There's quite a bit of blood around, isn't there? As if she's been hurt in some way.
Oh, yeah, might be. We don't know.
Are you a friend of this lady's?
Yes, I know her.
You know her?
Yes.
And what's happened to her?
You know, she come very drunk. Come another one man. I be suffer bed, I sick, you know. Oh, look me.
You've been sick in bed?
Yes, I sick in bed. They come. And the man told, please go home. She not wanted.
She said to him, please go home.
Now, he say, please go. Go. I give for you taxi. She say, I not want a taxi. I have fallen again here.
She fell?
Yeah, she self. Now somebody.
Only herself. She wasn't pushed.
No.
And no car hit her.
Nothing at all.
Civil ambulance will go back to probably the Royal Melbourne from here, driver.
Yes, Royal Melbourne.
How is the lady?
Oh, only for a laceration to the head, quite all right.
She'll be all right. And I think you'd like to borrow our St John ambulance man for a while, would you?
Possible.
All right, well, he'll go back with you and we'll pick him up at Royal Melbourne. Police trying to interview a few people over here at the moment now.
Bag over sort of a bag over his shoulder, and what was in the bag I don't know, and he was blind drunk.
Was there any sort of a fight, madam, or anything like that?
Eh?
Any sort of a fight or any blows struck?
The poor woman was lying on the pavement. There couldn't be any fight because he was kicking her and hitting her.
Oh, he was?
Oh, I saw him.
Well, I was talking to that lady in the brown coat over there. She said the lady just fell and hit her head on the gutter. But you saw her being attacked.
I saw her being attacked.
And the man, what did he do after the attack?
Well, he hit her and kicked her and kicked her and hit her and kicked her, and then she couldn't move, and he put the bag was over his shoulder, and he just swore, and I sang out to him. I said, "What are you doing to that woman?" And he sang, and he went up there, and went up right up there.
Was he a young man?
Oh no, he was a man about 40 to 50.
Because she is quite an elderly lady, the one who's been attacked.
Is she, poor thing?
Police on the scene here in a divisional wagon. And are you taking this as an assault, Constable, or are you still investigating to find out what really happened?
Well, at the moment, it will be investigated. We think it is an assault, and we'll be getting more particulars. And in fact, there is a witness who saw the alleged offence.
Yes, I've spoken to her.
Yes, well, we'll be giving it to the Brunswick CIB.
And having a look for the man she described.
Well, we haven't got much of a description, but we'll have to...
Enough to start, anyway.
Enough to start.
Thank you very much, Constable.
And then, news of a country fatality.
Here is the police report. A car driven by Graham Dinney, 18 years, of Devonish, left the Benalla-Yarrawonga road and struck a tree 19 miles from Benalla. Dinney was dead on arrival at Benalla Base Hospital. Relatives have been notified, the body conveyed to the mortuary, the superintendent and coroner notified.
For police and ambulance, it's a busy night, and the stacks pile up with almost monotonous regularity.
Berkeley Street and Summerhall Street in Footscray. Quite a lot of activity here with police on the scene and two badly damaged cars. What's the story on this?
Oh, I wouldn't know. All I know is one's stolen. This one here is stolen.
Stolen?
Yeah, apparently. So I just heard some chap chased him up the road. And the police are trying to find out now who chased him up the road.
And he's shot through, of course. He's gone.
Yeah, they're both gone. One went to hospital, I believe.
There were two of them in it?
Yeah, two cars. The other one's up there on the back of Modern, and the other one's both allocations. One to Rising Sun and one to Modern.
Anyone badly hurt in that ambulance I saw going past?
Could be. I wouldn't know. I mean, there's a fair bit of damage on the steering here of this one.
I believe there was a chap walking across the road. If these cars had to come together, we would have got jammed between the two of them, as far as we know. But this chap apparently has gone. There's been no word of it at all, and we don't know anything as far as that goes.
Were you close by when the accident occurred?
I suppose about 15 to 20 yards up.
So you heard it well and truly?
Yeah.
You weren't looking at the time, I suppose?
No, we were walking up and bang.
Yeah. Did you hear them travelling pretty hard before they hit one of the cars?
Yeah.
Well, now, somebody told me that one fellow, and perhaps two, out of this car that may be stolen, leapt out of it and disappeared.
I would say three.
Three?
Yeah.
Did you see them running up the street?
Yeah, run like hell.
Were they? You saw them too?
Going like a bad hell.
Yeah. Did anyone chase after them?
One fellow said, stop them fellows, and no one could stop them.
They were going too hard.
Yeah. It's like a tin air.
Young blokes?
Oh, well, that wouldn't be more than 19.
No, 20 the most. 20 the most.
So none of the people out of the car that's reported stolen were hurt?
No.
Oh, yeah, they took two to the hospital.
Yes, but
the stolen car, no.
Yeah, and the two who were hurt, bad?
No,
I don't think so. They just walked into the ambulance and they took them over.
Yeah,
they looked them
bad,
over and they walked them into the ambulance and took them over.
Well, it's probably the car that may have been stolen that was speeding a bit, do you think?
I'll say it was not speeding a bit, it was speeding.
It was speeding?
Yeah.
And it's always the innocent party who gets hurt, isn't
That's
it?
right. Yeah, definitely.
A bad luck Christmas for them.
Yeah,
more definitely.
very bad.
Very bad, yeah.
Did you see enough of these people to give police a description to start them off?
Oh, roughly.
Rough. Yeah.
Enough to give them a bit of a start.
Yeah,
anyway.
they give them a start, yeah.
Police on the scene here, and first I've just been talking to some witnesses who said they might have given you enough description to start you off on a search. Have you got enough?
Yes, well, we have a description and we have an idea where we might be able to find these fellows, so we're going to take off.
I hope you find them. Thanks
Thank
first.
you.
Rising Sun have picked up both the jobs, boys, haven't you?
No, we got one.
job was allocated to
Yeah, we got the stolen car and the opposition got the other one.
Well, having a look at the stolen car, it was a heap to begin with, so I gather it won't be fixed.
No, it's no good anymore.
And the Morris Minor?
Oh, it'd be the same. Possibly the same.
Early this morning, 2 more men lose their lives, and a third is in a critical condition in hospital when 2 cars pile up in Plenty Road, Bandura. And just after the NewsBeat round finishes at 6 a.m., yet another motorist is killed when his car hits a light pole in West Heidelberg. A total of 7 deaths for the night. To this moment, police have released no details of these last 2 accidents. And that was the night and the early morning in our city. Stand by for more highlights of the NewsBeat.
The longer you leave oil in your engine, the dirtier it gets. That can mean engine damage, expensive damage. The really safe way to guard your engine is to refill regularly with fresh, clean Castrol. Regular Castrol care keeps your engine clean and working smoothly, makes it last longer, too. And Castrol keeps oil and repair bills lower. Take care of your car. Look ahead. Keep your eye on repair costs. Use Castrol, the oil your car maker recommends. The properly balanced super-grade oil, fresh, clean Castrol.
Castrol, the masterpiece in oils.
NewsBeat News of the Week. Australian minesweeper HMAS Teal sees action in Indonesian waters.
The radar operator picked up 2 small vessels on his screen. Suddenly, the Teal was under fire, and Lieutenant Murray, the ship's Australian commander, had given the order to return fire. In a few hectic minutes, the Teal had brought one boat alongside, and the other had fled back into Indonesian waters.
The Premier, Mr. Bolte, officially opens the Princess Gate project.
This is a most intricate operation. The engineering and technical skills needed to bring about a changeover in sinking platforms, lowering tracks, at the same time not interfering with your very excellent service, Mr. Brownbill, and at the same time transforming an area that, to say the least, has always been an eyesore.
And then the Premier himself drives a train along the new section of line at the platform.
Now, keep going. Now. There you are.
Very well done.
Excellent.
Yes.
I had to breeze up.
A 1918 Rolls-Royce is auctioned at Narib in Kuyong Road, and well-known racing driver Mr. Reg Hunt is very interested.
What do you think it'll bring? Round figures. Oh, if the keen man is here, it'll bring 3 thou. 3 thou? But if there were 2 keen men, it could go up to 5.
The bidding quickly rose beyond £2,000.
2,200. Finished, done, finished. 300. 2,300. 2,300 pounds. Done at 2,300 pounds. I'll offer it done at 2,300. Finished. Done. 2,300. Please.
The new owner figured he got a bargain.
You figure you got a bargain? 3 years that is.
Yes, I do.
What do you think you might have to pay for it?
About 2.5.
Oh, well, you went far
May I
out.
have a deposit,
Yes,
please?
certainly.
Mr. Jock Sturrock announces the plans of a Melbourne syndicate to contend the America's Cup.
This syndicate has already commissioned the designer to go ahead. That was from our first meeting, which was a week ago, first public meeting. And he went back to Sydney that night and commenced on his designs, and the boat will be commenced building at the end of November, October of 1965 and should be finished by September, October of 1966.
This morning's headlines: Congolese rebels armed with Russian and Communist Chinese automatic weapons are counterattacking fiercely around 2 provincial capitals in the northeastern Congo. Radio messages reaching Leopoldville say a handful of central government troops are clinging to precarious positions at Polis, the capital of Ulele province. 19 children have perished in a tragic series of home fires around the United States. 6 children aged between 3 and 14 died in flames at their home in the northeastern Detroit suburb of Warren. At Kingston, North Carolina, 5 children aged between 6 months and 9 years burnt to death in a farmhouse. 5 children aged from 7 to 16 died in a fire at their home near Marked Tree, Arkansas. 3 children perished when flames destroyed their home at Seattle, Washington. Parliamentary leaders in New South Wales believe allegations made against a prominent Labour MP by a Parliament House typist will greatly embarrass the Labour Party and the New South Wales Labour government. Police are believed to be investigating the allegations, and the investigations are expected to have far-reaching repercussions. An iron ore deal worth more than £270 million, believed to be the biggest raw material purchase ever made by Japan and the largest sale made by Australia, was announced in London yesterday. Hammersley Iron has received agreement from the 10 steel mills of Japan to purchase 65.5 million tons of iron ore. A 73-year-old man was swept out to sea and drowned near South Curl Beach, New South Wales, late yesterday. The man, whose name has not been released, was fishing from rocks with his son at the time. Sport. The visiting Pakistan team gave Adelaide cricket fans a batting bonanza at the Adelaide Oval yesterday. Pakistan resumed at none for 25, and at the close of play was 6 for 421. Young opener Ilyas made a fine 154, and captain Hanif was 80 not out at stumps.